Hi, this is Les July, and this is my guitar story. I met this particular guitar in Guitar Center Hollywood. It was kind of strange. One day, I just woke up. You ever have one of these feelings? You wake up in the morning, you go, you know what? I think I need a white Strat today. Rosewood neck. I just I just decided. I woke up and I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I don't know whether it's because of watching so many Hendrix videos and Jeff Beck. You know, a lot of the time, you know, that iconic, Strat thing for me was always like the white Strat with the rosewood fingerboard. And I went to Guitar Center, and I saw, if you've ever been to Guitar Center in Hollywood, there's like literally hundreds of them. You know, a lot of them like this. And I just said, somebody said, can I help you? I said, no, I'm just going to look for a Strat. You want to plug it in? No. I said, I'm good. So I literally just sat there, picked up a guitar, as I do a lot of it, and didn't even want to plug it in. I'm listening for how it sounds acoustically, you know. And so I'm like, okay, this was kind of cool. I checked out a few more of them, and then, the basic thing, when they have a guitar, and they're basically set up, everything like that. But I mean, I was just looking for something that just felt completely right. I picked up this one, just went. And the thing that, first of all, impressed me was that the guitar was perfectly in tune. But it just sounded really nice. And then I said, okay, and then plugged it in. Guy gave me a chord. I plugged it in. I literally, I just went listen to it clean a little bit. I'm like, okay, thanks, wrap it up. That was it. I named it Isabella after the Hendrix song, Isabella. And ironically enough, I mean, I have a few guitars. There's only two that I named. I named this one Isabella before realizing that it was as I was told, a Mexican Strat, which just goes along with my thing for Latin women. So it all works out, you know. Oh, I bonded with it as soon as I started playing it. It just sounded clear and ring, and I was like, okay, this is great. I only plugged it in just to make sure that it worked. I didn't need to sit there and do all day. I was already, so we bonded as soon as I basically sat down and started strumming it. I'm like, okay, that's it. You're coming home with me. And that was that. I did something recently to this guitar and to my other girl, Talulah, that's the Telly. When I noticed that, as happens with most single coil pickups and you're doing a lot of recording, you get a little bit of buzz happening, which is not such a cool thing. I don't know how they really... Oh, no, I know how they got away with it in the 60s. I remember my friend Eddie Martinez was telling me he used to do these sessions where he would stand and somebody ground him would touch the top of his head or touch something in the guitar just so it wouldn't make noise. But if you record alone like I do, and it's like I'm the band, I don't have anybody to really do that for me. So at his advice and my friend Jimmy Hazel from 24/7 Spies, they said, hey, you need to check out the DiMarzio vintage noiseless pickups, which is what I did. So I put them in here and I put them in this guitar. And these are the only two guitars that I ever changed the pickups on. That's what makes me come to this guitar for recording a lot sooner than I would some of the other ones. Even though the others have different characteristics and whatnot, the idea of having the single coil Strat sound but having be noiseless, because they're actually kind of like humbuckers, but they don't sound like it. You know, they still maintain that crispness and that clarity. I like the fact that it's honest what you put into it. It doesn't let you get away with much. You know what I mean? And just the whole pickup configuration with the different sounds. Most people, if you notice, most Strat players, I've been watching this a lot. Like whenever I'm watching videos, like what pickup configuration most people use? I see a lot of people on the front pickup. it for that whole funk thing. I'll just go through the basic sound. That's the front pickup. Now, when you get into the second position, when you're using these two pickups, you get that kind of like out of phase, kind of very glassy, shimmery sound. And there's two out of phase positions. There's the first one, these front two pickups. The middle one, then the fourth position, the difference between this fourth position here, for me, because of this is a sound that a lot, for me, almost defined the 80s. Because a lot of, that squealy-polity thing or whatever. I also think, I'm not really sure, but when I hear this sound on the guitar, what makes me want to play like... Again, very clean, glassy, very shimmery. And the last position, which only uses the rear pickup. And for most of the time, that's where you get people use that for the distortion to really cut through. But in a mix, a sound like this, even clean, has a tendency to cut through. And then when you put overdrive on it, it still has the punch. I call it like crunch with clarity. Let me just show you a second here. You can go to the overdrive sound, but you notice that even in overdrive, you can still hear every note. It's not just a wash of sound, just a wash. There's clarity. And I started noticing a lot of things that people do with Strats. Been studying Jeff Beck and trying to watch his hands and whatnot, but a lot of things happen with volume, because if you turn the volume down on a Strat like this, you almost can be like... It's very clean, but... So yeah, I dig it. And of course, then the tremolo bar, which I use just to get, different textures. Very subtle. Yes, and this is Talulah. This is the second of the primary mistresses. This guitar, I wasn't looking for another girl. I was actually in Guitar Center with a friend of mine, helping her buy a PA system. And she's looking at a PA, and once she decided what she wanted, and they're ringing up everything, getting everything, I was just sitting there, look over some guitars, and I saw this guitar, and I just picked it up. No amp, just... Well, I was thinking, man, again, like I said with the other guitars, the electric guitar, I kind of really want to see what it sounds like without it being plugged in. Because if it sounds good without an amp, just how it resonates in your hand and all those kind of things, that's a good sign. So I saw this, and I thought it would make a nice match. I named it Talulah because it was a telly, and I just said, "Hey, you're a telly. I'm gonna call you Talulah the telly." So that's it. And this is actually a Squire telly, which is like a less expensive, but still made by Fender. I didn't really care, to be honest with you. People get into these names like, man, is it a Fender? Is it a pre-CB? I'm like, nah, who cares? How does it feel in your hand? Because, I'll tell you something. This guitar, I had to pay $200 for this guitar. I mean, really, I did not. It was less than $200. But you can blindfold somebody, and you can put a guitar in their hand that feels like this and sounds like this, and it will cost like $30,000 because it's old. Because it's all original parts. Whatever. I just want to know, how does it sound like? How does it feel? This is a telly. I like it for the country stuff because this is very clean. Sometimes after playing Isabella a lot, I pick up Talulah and I want to go, and oh, there's no bar. So everything, with this, literally everything you want to get out of it, all the... I think somebody came up to me later. I remember I was sitting there, and even though I wasn't plugged in, I was just playing it. And somebody, you know, sometimes people walk by, they see you play. Normally, if you're in a music store, you attract attention. If you're playing loud or something, then somebody comes over and they go, "Hey!" I mean, literally, I'm just sitting there, just noodling, just having fun. I think this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, you know, can I check that out or something?" He asked me something about, like, you know, when you're done. And at that point, I realized, I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to be done with this. I think I'm going to buy it. So you could play it a little bit, but no, I think I'm going to buy this. You know, it was interesting, but just the thought at that moment just posed to me about me doing this was just not happening, and I was just like, oh, fine. So that's how that happened. Wasn't looking for a telly, but this came home with me. Very happy that I did that. I'm doing a lot of new music, which I guess you could consider like in the new country vein. It's nothing I really considered before, but I'm kind of good at it. And so I use this guitar on all of that types of stuff, you know. Traditionally, I mean, like, this is like, if the Strat is like the rock guitar, you could say that the Telecaster is the main thing used for country, mainly because of the cleanliness of it. So I've got some things in the works, some songs I'm working on, and this is on all of those songs so far, and all the ones that I have coming up. This is Les July, and thank you for watching my tale of the 6th string.